Hi friends, Elizabeth Stone with another episode of An Invitation. Today I'm inviting you to make really awesome egg bites with me. I love egg bites because they are healthy. We're gonna do it as a healthy version with egg whites. It's gonna be really fun and delicious. So when I do my egg bites, I like to use a muffin tin. This is a regular size muffin tin. As you can see, it's got 12 pieces in it, so I'm gonna make 12 today. And I'm gonna start, I've got a little bit of oil here that I'm putting onto a paper towel, and I'm just gonna make sure that each of these cups is very well oiled, because we wanna make sure that once we make these, they don't have a crust, and we wanna make sure they're going to come out and be clean when they come out. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the oil in each one, and I'm being very generous with my oil. I don't want you to don't shortchange the oil. This is an important step to make sure that everything comes out. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and now we're going to make our mixture. All right, I've already done this, but I have 12 egg whites in the bowl, okay? So you can crack these ahead of time. If you don't want to crack the eggs, you know, now you can buy a container of egg whites at the grocery store, and that's just as fine also. And I'm gonna you don't need to beat these a lot, but you do need to beat them just a little bit to sort of break them up and get all 12 of them incorporated with each other. And I'm using a whisk. You can use a spoon or a fork. I find a whisk does the best because it adds a little air to it. And you'll see that in just a minute, I've got some bubbles here, so that means it's getting incorporated, and we've added a little bit of air to it. And then what we're gonna add to this is, I have got some skim milk here. So I'm gonna do about a half a cup of skim milk. Again, we're trying to keep these healthy, so I'm using skim milk to put in there. And then this is the thing that I love to do with egg bites that makes them really nice and fluffy, is I have some cottage cheese. This is a low-fat cottage cheese. You can use 2%, you can use no fat, you can use regular, but we're looking for that mixture that's there in the cottage cheese. You won't really know that's cottage cheese when we get it all in there, but we're gonna do a half a cup of cottage cheese. So I'm gonna mix that in. All right, and now we're gonna get this mixture really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and beat it a little bit. I wanna make sure all that gets incorporated. And I'm trying to break up that cottage cheese so we don't have big chunks of cheese in there. And you can start to see when they're broken up, but we're just gonna give it a nice, and you can see the color's changing. It's becoming very white. And then you always wanna do a little salt and pepper in your mixture. So I'm gonna do about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a little splash of pepper. And we get that mixed up. All right, now I'm gonna set this on the side, and we're gonna go ahead and start to build these. I like to put the ingredients down first, and today I'm going to use some healthy ingredients. Again, I'm trying to make these healthy. I've got feta cheese, and I have some spinach, and I have some roasted red bell peppers. So I'm gonna start with the feta, and we're just gonna put a little bit in each one. You can measure this, it's about a tablespoon, but I'm just eyeballing it and putting just a little that's gonna cover the bottom of this. You don't wanna fill these cups up with ingredients because you wanna make sure there's enough room for the eggs so that you get the eggs in there. But anyway, this is about a tablespoon, maybe just a touch less than a tablespoon. You can use other kinds of cheese. Feta is a very healthy cheese because it's lower in fat than some other cheeses. And now I'm gonna come back. This is frozen spinach that we've just thawed out. I'm gonna put this in here. You can do fresh wilted spinach if you want, but I just like to put a little bit. I'm gonna make some little balls and just put it in there. It's just easier in each one. And you can make these with things like bacon and cheddar as well. And then I've got some red bell pepper. Now, I'm gonna chop these. I had these cut, but they're not quite as small as I'd like them, so I'm gonna get my knife, and we're just gonna give these a little bit of a chop so they make them a little bit smaller. Now these are roasted red bell peppers that we've taken the skin off of. You can also, if you don't want to do this, you can buy a can of red bell peppers. You can buy pimentos. They're different, but you could use pimentos just to make it easier for yourself if you wanted to. All right, now I'm going to come back with my egg mixture, and because I've got this big bowl of egg mixture, I'm going to use a measuring cup just to make it easier for me to pour it into these cups. So I'm just going to do a little bit. You want to get them about 3/4 of the way full. And that way you've got enough egg in there, but then you also leave them a little room to grow while they're cooking. As you know, they will puff up a little bit. These are really great. You can make these ahead of time, put them in the refrigerator, and then just warm them up. Like if you have kids going to school and you want to send them out the door with some protein, you could make these ahead of time, refrigerate them, and then just warm them up for about 15 to 20 seconds in the microwave and send them out the door with some nice, clean protein before they head off to school. All right, so now we're ready. I'm gonna put these in the oven, 350 degrees, and we'll see what they taste like. All right, here we are. We have our egg bites. Look how beautiful they look. You know, it's funny about these egg whites is all of them rose except one. That just happens sometimes. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It just didn't puff up as much as the others. Maybe I didn't put as much egg in there, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and try these. Remember, these are made with egg whites, so sometimes the egg whites, if I didn't beat them enough, maybe they didn't puff as much. But you can also do these with regular eggs. But you see, I'm using a spoon, and I'm gonna try to scoop this out of here, which it looks like it's gonna come right out. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And again, you can set these aside. You can make these ahead of time and set them aside and keep them and use them all week. They would be good in the refrigerator for at least 4 days. So now I'm going to, that looks really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it, and we're gonna see, so see, you can see the inside, it's got the eggs and the cottage cheese and the spinach. Again, this is really healthy. So it's very hot, so maybe I'm gonna take a smaller bite and see how this goes. Really good flavor, really nice texture, really great way to start the day if you just need some good protein before you head out the door. Thank you for joining us again on An Invitation. We're here to make your life easier for you with entertaining and cooking. Always make it easy, always make it fun. But most importantly, whatever you do, enjoy the experience. Cheers.